Today, we're going to be talking about the current trends and expert insights in the dental practice market with Maria Melone. She's a CPA, a certified valuation analyst, and really today we're tapping into the leading M&A advisor in healthcare, also with a deep knowledge of dental industry located in Boston, Massachusetts. Her mission is to help both individual businesses and multi-site groups, which we'll talk more about, navigate the complex landscape of capital or strategic transactions. Welcome, Maria. How are you?
Great to be here, Melissa. Always a pleasure to join you on your podcast, and looking forward to this conversation today. So as it relates to a group practice, where you have multiple providers, maybe multiple locations, that certainly can afford a seller a little bit more flexibility in terms of what their role is post-closing. And it's really going to, come down to how integral is that owner to the operations of the business, the continued performance of the business, and potentially the growth. We've certainly worked with clients where there are multiple owners, and often in those cases, you have a wide range of ages of that ownership group. So obviously owners have different, are in different stages of life and have different interests in terms of what they want out of a transaction. And so in those cases, oftentimes those older dentists, maybe they don't have to commit to the 5 years because we know this younger, group is going to, carry the baton forward and be able to keep things moving. So that certainly can afford some flexibility to a seller. If a seller is primarily non-chair side, same sort of parameters would apply, in that if that, seller has a really strong, executive team that, again, can take the business with the new partner forward, then, that seller can likely limit the amount of time that they would have to commit to staying post-closing. In terms of other things that we're seeing, when we look at, say, solo practitioners, it's been very difficult in certain cases, and certainly in certain geographies and certain practice sizes. So, more rural, smaller practices, it's nearly impossible to find a buyer for that type of practice. I think some of that is due to the debt loads that students are carrying coming out of dental school. I think it also has to do with a shift in mindset, where we're seeing a lot of the younger graduates don't actually want to outright own their own practice. They want to have a much better work-life balance, and in many cases only want to work 4 days a week. So it's hard to be a practice owner if you're only going to be working 4 days a week, with, all of the management burden that comes along with being a sole owner. Not to say that those transactions aren't happening, but it is certainly becoming much more difficult.